And it is live.
Who's everyone?
Hey, hello, everybody.
Hello, world. And what is a very good evening, I think.
The entire world.
Even
go.
Even if one of the national papers here in the UK suggested we're heading for another lockdown. But anyhow, Wolves, joint top of the Premier League after 7 games. No one should really complain at that, or I will certainly finish the rest of this beauty of Barcelona Estrella after a fairly good night's work. Came out of the blocks superbly. Both the goals were very well taken. The first one, the young left wing back who came out of the blocks terrifically, and his finish was just almost like a clinical striker's finish, the way the ball just landed on him and knew exactly what he was going to do with it. It ran out Larry is, I think, someone who we can very much look forward to getting properly stuck into the future. For both the goals as well, Pedro Neto's ball sublime, particularly for the second one where it had to loop around actually past Jeffrey Sloop, which ended up onto the feet of Daniel Pedante. Just again, let it come onto him, and first time nutmeg the keeper.
I have to say, I'll just stop you there, Cash, because I think your microphone's actually worse since you went off and came back. Sorry.
Oh, Joyce. I'll take it out. I'll just lean forward.
Oh, there he is. There he is. Sorry.
Apologies, Maud.
No, that's fine.
Well, let's go back and let's talk about those goals though in great detail.
Just before describe them. I've just got a quick hot take first. Pre-season's over. This is the real Wolves.
For the first half, we're a first half team now.
Yeah,
absolutely. Oh, yeah.
on the basis of that first half, and I think the general play as well through the second half. The general play through the second half was excellent. Even though obviously Palace did pressure us, they didn't really do anything that would cause a travesty essentially, and can't really complain at the way in which again we defended, and particularly Leander Dendoncker, I think, being a standout in terms of his work rate tonight, just getting stuck in from head to toe. Brilliant clearance from I forgot who it was. He got to the back stick for Palace from the corner in the second half before he came in, before he tried to come in. The Belgian was across the turf from moment one, and say he is on his day he is good, and it was, I think, just a very, very decent performance by him tonight. And of course I will mention, and I've got to say, Stonewall red card for Milivojevic going through on Moutinho's ankle. It could have broken it on another day. It was horrible, absolutely horrible tackle. And but at least we can say with VAR and various other decisions, it went right, which also feels very good. And maybe a hot take for me could be we're going to get the lot when we are going to be treated much more kindly this season by VAR than last, as was proved tonight.
Wolverhampton Wanderers. Fantastic.
I'll take it. We're owed it.
Oh God, yeah. I missed that.
That's like it would be like my Chiefs that I like to draw parallels to, because both teams were just have a history of letting down their supporters in their most promising seasons, and then obviously the Chiefs won the Super Bowl last year, but this year they are getting all the benefit from all the reviews, all of the calls. If you would say that the referees are like fixing a game, it's everything's going in favor of the most popular team. So now that Wolves are joint top and soon to be, pulling away from the rest of the competition in the Premier League, I expect more things to go our way for these Wolves that are going to finish top 3.
That would be nice. Well, one thing we are.
Early days.
Let me finish. Top 3 after this weekend.
Ooh.
See what you did there.
Well, one thing we are. One thing we are just to say is we're already 12 points clear of the relegation zone, which after 7 games is phenomenal. And no one should surely have any doubts in that particular mind. To get 12 points clear of the bottom 3 after 7 is excellent. And because of course some still probably having some doubts after the West Ham game that we would be struggling and down there. But you can forget about that because 10 points out the last 12 has, I think, put all those doubts to bed. And tonight was just a decent, typical Wolves performance within the last few seasons, which has shown us on our great and why people have had to see us talk about going forward. I could have had a few more goals if a bit of luck had come. To get to a lot of fairly good positions. And even a few of them being rather cheeky attempts from long way out, which included Pedro Neto. If that one had gone in, I would have ran to Molineux, where he just absolutely launched it from about 25 yards, stopped the keeper of his line, and flipped top of the bar. Which, if that had gone in, there would have been, I think, social media would have stopped in astonishment.
That was the big difference. It was as I said. As we opened, it's pre-season over. It looks like a team that's now starting. The first few games did look like a bit more like friendlies, and there was a noticeable difference in the Newcastle game on the tempo to start with. The tempo was there again. The passing had some zip to it. It wasn't slow. It wasn't sort of trundling across the ground and slow knocking it about, and there was the ball generally stayed moving most of the time, which was a noticeable difference. There wasn't like a standing with the ball, having a look round sort of thing. It was a proper, the ball moved, it moved, that sort of thing. And then when we were putting balls into the box, there was players in that box. I mean, as mentioned, Dendoncker really did play well tonight, a lot better than he's played in other games. He was literally everywhere, and I'll be honest, he's hit the bar, and he should have scored. He possibly should have scored at least one of the 2 other chances he had, because they were those. And that's not, and it sounds harsh, but the thing is, it's harsh because he got there and made those opportunities. So he's got his own fault. He's got himself to blame, So.
Yeah, particularly the second one where
for getting there in the first place, and he really did play well. Podence definitely is a player who is going to unlock teams. Anyone sitting deep, he is clever with the ball. He's good with the ball at his feet. His movement and positioning is fantastic.
Which is everyone, by the way. Everyone sits deep against us, so that's been a problem since the restart. So,
but I noticed as well, it was like slightly. I think there was a variation in how they were attacking, and Neto and Podence were kind of working as a little pack, and they were very close to each other a lot of the time, either on the left or the right or the middle, and then Jimenez being the sort of lone striker. But Podence and Neto definitely were working together.
And their interlinking play, one-touch passing was, say, the smoothest of the season by far. Where they were just able to, be up close and personal, but in that sense, be able to be the driving force going forward. And that is, that I think has put a collective smile on everybody's faces, knowing that when they're good, that's what they can really do to torment opponents, and they show that very, very easily tonight across the board. And the pace as well, I think as a whole, the tempo was much better. The best performance I think of the season, particularly with the improved work rate and the improved tempo, and the way we were able to get the ball up the pitch much quicker than the start. I think we have found this is the first year with many that we're going to go up.
even in addition to that, even when we did sit back, which we still did that sitting back. But even when we did that, we still seemed to keep that tempo more, and we were a lot snappier to the ball. And second and loose balls, we were a lot quicker to get to them and actually be the first to get them. And that makes a difference. If you are going to sit back and you do that, well, we're going to get those counters much quicker, and we were, and that's, for me, that's a yardstick, and that's the line in the sand for me, and many other cliched metaphors that I can think of. For us now, that's the base level. That should be we should expect that kind of at least that kind of tempo and performance every game. We still might not win games playing like that, but that should be the base level of performance, and go from there. It shouldn't drop below that.
Well, do you think that this is, I know they call it a true rebuilding type of year, or retooling, I guess, with shipping off Jota and Doherty, but like moving forward, does he have his team? Like, sure, you're going to add a piece here or there, but it seems like a team that's within striking distance, even now it's always silly to say, but we finished 7th 2 years in a row. Is this the squad?
Barring an injury in midfield, yes. I think they do. I think it is right where people have said that another midfielder would be sensible, but that's only because if one of Neves or Dendoncker at the moment gets injured, it might. I don't know. I think Saïss can come in for and do what Dendoncker does. That's my opinion. I think he can, but I'm not sure Moutinho is going to be able to come in and do what Neves does.
Right. Well, we will get Morgan back next year, and that'll be like a new signing.
So. Well, if he continues to progress, yeah, and of course we've got Vitina as well. So
still didn't get a look into that. Yes, I think because of the way in which the team is shaped. But that youth, and that just be good to see as well, was a small cameo at the end for Fabio Silva. And I think at some point he will get unleashed, but still with him getting back on the pitch after, I think he played in the first, I think he played in the second game against Man City. He came on, I was right, or something like that, if I remember correctly. But at least he was out. He was able to get some minutes on the pitch, which I think will boost his confidence. And as you say, whenever we wait for Nari to start, and he did what he did. He did what he needed to do and more. And I say his finish was so composed. Out of the box, could have easily scooped it like an ice cream cone, like an ice cream scooper into the North Bank. But was just so just let it come onto him and took it so sweetly. And I think even though he's loaned to buy, I think Wolves. I think we want to keep him, knowing that left wing back, we could be very much covered for years with this kid. He looks superb, and also Nelson Semedo really getting stuck in. I think it was his best performance in the Wolves show so far, particularly the way in which he wasn't just obviously doing his defensive duties well, but the way he was wanting to get up top. Some of the crosses he put in were marvellous, and the way he was able to take use of that right hand side. Our wing back positions, I think, are sorted for years potentially, and that is just one of the most exciting prospects about the side. Two already experienced folks going stuck in and ultimately helping to shape what is going to be a special thing.
So wingback panic at the start of the season, and now wingbacks secured we're secure in that position for years.
Who knows?
That's 2020.
Of course, Semedo is on a short-term contract. He's on a short-term contract out now, but he did obviously come from Barcelona, and he's 26. Fair enough. But the guy just who's class tonight, and I say even at the back was able to hold off had hold off Wilfried Zaha very, very nicely. And I don't know, I've seen one or two teams saying he had him in his pocket. So that that's what you get for spending however much we did again from Barcelona.
Just a note on Wilfried Zaha. What a nasty, entitled little prick he is. He really is horrible. Yes. Oh God, he's just horrible. He should have been sent off as well for all that grabbing of throats and pushing in the face. At least three different things that really should have gone for. And not only that, there's quite a few other bits where the clips where he's talking and you're lip reading what he's saying to like the linesman and stuff like that. I'm like, how on earth is he still on the pitch? I just don't get it.
He's a lucky man.
I don't know why they indulge him, because if you spoke like that, the way he was speaking to the officials, if you spoke like that to an official on a Sunday league game, he would be off. He'd be gone within the first 10 minutes. There's no way you'd get away with that. Absolutely no way.
And even if the tap on out Nari was a little soft, it's still dangerous. He's going to a young man's face in his first game. Just the fact that out Nari's had to stand up for himself in that way. Well, good on him for him not responding. It shows the maturity of the guy compared to he almost lost it.
He's done nothing.
If that tap was ferocious, he could have gone, and rightfully so. It was dreadful tonight, and his attitude, I think, has been really been shown to its full colours. And I don't blame anybody for being cheesed off.
Yeah, I don't know why the officials indulge him. I just don't, because he should have gone, and rightly, because you speak to anyone like that. If you spoke to someone like that on the street, they'd give him a slap. It's as simple as that. He's just
been assault charge.
He's awful. He's awful. And as I say, I mean, he decided to mess with Nori's hair as he's walking over him. Then Nori tries to get the ball, and he's like shoving him grabbing him on the face and shoving him, and I'm like, why is the referee letting this get a yellow card? I mean,
see, in my country, you just become the president if you act like that. So,
well, true, yes, that's probably what it is. Yes, well, you know, maybe that's the future, you know, but no, I don't know why the match officials put up with it. There's an easy way to fix it. Just send him off. What's he going to do?
I don't know. He'll fall asleep like Cash. I couldn't tell if you were frozen or not. You're just completely.
I am a little tired, but my eyes are still very much open at the minute.
Wouldn't catch you falling asleep, would we, Alex?
Nope, I've just had my evening coffee, so.
It's 5:40. It's 5:40 over there. You've still got lots of time to play with. Mm-hmm. Just to say, you'll only be getting settled in, I'm guessing, at this point on Tuesday. For a very long
I didn't get any of that, but I agree.
Yes. But the attitude of players like Wilfried Zaha is disgusting. And surely that he could easily, maybe if Wolves wants to press it, go for retrospective if that is plausible. As I say, that touched him in the face is dangerous in any sense. And I say if that was a bit of if Wilfried put a bit more oomph into that could have been extremely nasty.
I mean, realistically, in the real world, if someone touched you on the face like that, you'd think they were just gently caressing you. But players go down clutching their face a lot of the time, and then the perpetrators get sent off. The fact of the matter for me is just the way he reacted, and then even when the ref was there in front of him, he was still shoving him and stuff like that, and the referee's just like, it's a yellow card. That's not a yellow card. You're not as a referee, for me, taking control of that game if you're allowing that sort of attitude. Really, I don't get it. And then he's constantly falling on the floor, and trying to get penalties and stuff like that. But
also
it's just an unpleasant. It just comes across as a genuinely unpleasant piece of shit.
Yes. And that's really being bossed. And that's the perks of Wolves being able to just boss him in what just being able to do. And Tomato very comfortably being able to do it. Also, obviously, got a shout out. I think as well, not just Dendoncker. I don't think Neves was too bad. The midfield, I think, for the first time this season looked well in shape. I think, even if obviously Zhao came on and people thought, oh, why is he coming on and so forth. But what can he do though when such a nasty tackle from Milivojevic comes in? But before that, Neves and Dendoncker during all that game they did a very, very good job, and that is obviously good to see that the midfield trio are finally being able to find their feet properly.
I think that's what I think I was saying earlier. It's like they were a lot quicker to pick up the second balls, and that made a massive difference because they were a lot quicker on. I mean, Neves was a lot quicker tonight as well at passing the ball out. He was making the decision and doing the pass pretty much straight away, and with them both picking up loose balls and intercepting stuff, it made such a difference. It really did. Completely controlled it, I thought.
And it's that seeing it helps when Leander is. I think that's Leander's second good game in a row. I think he's probably beginning to be able to find his feet. Also, it would have been nice if he put one of the two chances away. But he did finish that. I think, with the mentality, we know we have a good core in the centre of the pitch, then we'll be able to make use of it. And again, the way he was able to run forward, Leander was quick. That's one thing which I think some may underestimate about Dendoncker, but he is quick.
It's because he's got that. It's because he has that Michael Johnson-esque running style. So because it's a bit unconventional, so people think, oh, he's not very quick, but he does cover some ground. He really does.
Absolutely, and as he has shown on several occasions already, he can get up there and could have been again tonight. Easy popped one in the net. But good to know that the very core of the team was back to themselves. And I think that's something that I think will probably please I think more than what. Also, defensive wise, again, Willy Bolly, I think best game of the season too. Just him being able to just manhandle whatever came to him. Defense, bit more of a routine, I'd say. Obviously, the result that came in for Batshuayi's disallowed goal for offside. Would have been nice if they were a bit closer. But saying that, on the whole, still barely let anything come through. And hopefully one thing that did stand out is I think the ball was brought in towards Batshuayi, two defenders right near him, not going to let him have a chance of reaching it and being able to get it. Again, I think that back three, I think potentially another hot take for me is that back three shouldn't be changed. And I don't think it will be changed if Willie, Connor and Max continue to perform that as they have been in the last 3 games.
Definitely. I agree. Sorry, I was just checking the computer. Just checking the forum just to make sure.
That's all right.
Hopefully nobody's arguing about the result today. So
no, don't think so. It has been positive. Just from having a quick scroll.
Seems to be quite good words for Semedo, which is true. It was, it was a better forward and back performance sort of thing. Each game he's got a bit better in it, and I ignore it. He doesn't look like he's like new. He looks like he's been here for years and just slotted perfectly in. Great, absolutely great signing.
And
really is.
His price tag may have still seemed a lot, but first choice from Barcelona. First choice right back from Barcelona. He's obviously problems off the pitch eventually came to a head with all of their board resigning this week. I think showed he was able to get out such a toxic atmosphere. He got out such a toxic atmosphere at the right time. And he has settled in most superbly. And say tonight just was showed why we had to spend a little bit on him. But that's what we've been wanting as well. And anyone who misses Doc, obviously Doc did a great service, but I think we've got a considerable upgrade to Matt. So no, absolutely no complaints in any circumstance.
Yeah.
Who's your man of the match?
Alex, who was your man of the match?
I'm gonna have to go with Podence for his ability to unlock defenses. And that's it.
Yes,
that's all I have to say.
I'll be honest, I happen to agree with you because I really like Podence as a player. He just, as I said earlier, the movement, finding space, the clever touches, the clever passes, and the fact that he's got, and the composure to finish that ball that came across. You could, and when you watch the replay, you can see him properly. He's taking breaths beforehand, deep breaths, and he's composing himself to just put that in. I just think he just comes across as an absolute top professional. And I like that. I think Dendoncker I would have given man of the match because he was absolutely everywhere, but he missed that chance. And I know it sounds harsh. It sounds harsh because he ran basically the length of the pitch to get on the end of it.
But you got to score from there.
He missed that chance.
If you're gonna do the effort,
at least try and put it in the back of the net.
It was just it was a genuinely good all-round performance. I'd say that the daftest thing is, despite all his hard work and running around, Jimenez was slightly off the boil in front of goal a bit. If you're going to be critical, I don't want to be critical of him because he put so much work in and
it's
played
constructive.
In other players. Yeah, but he played. I mean, but the thing is, if he's not quite on it in the scoring sense, what he was doing is he was basically dragging players away, one or two players, sometimes two players on him, and moving them away. So even if he's not, he's even got the good sense that if he's not having the best game in front of goal, he's still going to move other players away, so someone else gets an opportunity. So that was good to see as well.
Indeed. I would. I'm going to say jointly. I would give it to both Podence and Neto. Daniel's finish and composure for the goal was just sublime. But then both assists by Pedro and both the crosses he had to get into the box, or both the crosses he contributed for both the goals were absolutely were demonstrates a man who's just growing with every game. And I say, even though he had a bit more room to operate tonight with Palace's right side being a bit exposed, and obviously Semedo helping him with him getting up, and it basically actually quite nicely too. The quality of his ball into the box, it is work for both goals were top drawer. And even if the first one bounced off the defender's head, it still then highlighted how good of a delivery it was, considering Out Married popped in Robert. But as you say, they're interlinking play and they're slick, quick, 1-2 touch tops passing was able to drive the team forward in a way that we haven't seen basically all season until tonight. And they are both going to be showing schedule, I think, within the rest of the campaign. And I think this is just the start of what we can, and I think what we will see for the rest of the season. And they absolutely have cemented, I think, that forward three. it's going to be tough for Adama to get back into it this week. But understandably so, it gives and it gives everybody a challenge to have to perform and to force themselves into it. Just as Max and just as Pedro and just as Daniel have all done so.
Yeah, I'm not sure at the moment. I mean, I think really it's going to be hard for Adama to play in games like this because when he came on, there's no space for him to run into. I think you'll probably see him coming in for the games against the apparently bigger teams, where they're more happy to play a bit more expansive, and then he'll be on and he'll be great because he will provide a fantastic outlet and be able to give them and push them back basically because they won't be able to leave as much space as they may like to have had. So he'll be a good player. So it's good. It's kind of good in the sense that we've got both types of players now. So if they sit, we've got Podence and Neto who could play together and break them down. If they don't sit and we were going to look to break more and there's going to be the space, then Traore is going to be in there. And, that's going to then push opposition defences back and relieve the pressure on us and give us, so we'll have two different ways of playing.
Does that mean Nuno finally has a plan B?
I think it does.
Ooh. Hot take. Nuno has a plan B.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's a hot take.
Well, I think with the quality that we've now got across all sections, then certainly the way in which he can switch things about very, very is really exciting. I know obviously he switched formation as well. Actually, once Pedro and Daniel came off and the others came on, and Adama did still get on the ball a little bit, which is fine. And obviously there was not too long left. It kind of surprised me that he struggled with that 10 minutes he was on for. But still, seeing that he did switch formation though is good. And I think it certainly is. I think shows the manager who continue wants to improve things. And I think tonight really good. Just the same. My post-game Express the Star vid has gone up, and there's a picture of me holding up as the captain on Twitter at the minute, which is rather nice. But I think it illustrated everybody's satisfaction of just a good performance. As I say, it's our best. It leaves us in our highest league position since August 2011, I think. After we've beaten the first three of the relegation season, actually.
Well, hopefully it's a harbinger of things to come because over the next 10 games, I think between now and Boxing Day, we'll play 6 of the big 7 because I'm going to count Leicester in there. So, I mean,
which starts with Leicester.
Hot take. Wolves will win 8 of those and go into the new year as a legitimate contender for first. So, come on, Wolves, getting hot at the right time. Nobody looks like.
That's a clear 30 points straight off. And relegation will be safe.
Yeah.
And then we play West Brom twice in the new year, so we have 6 points waiting for us on the second half of the season. So I'm just kidding. We'll lose. We'll lose.
Those will be their 2 cup games.
We'll win everything but those 2.
Yeah. Just like it was for Huddersfield.
That'll be their 2 games for the 2 games of 2 wins for the season. And
I'd always said that I was going to make it over for the next derby there, and I'm not going to. I'm not going to be able to make it, guys.
I wouldn't. I don't think it'll be very busy.
I'd have to get a job working for Wolves.
I tell you what, if your hot take comes well, then as I say, considering it looks like we're going back into national lockdown from next week here in the UK, I certainly think we'll certainly keep everybody quite sane and quite pleased. Because if Wolves are doing well, then also keep us morale. as well. And I think that will certainly be one positive that people can be quite motivated and be like, even if things are quite strange and scary in the world, football brings people together. And I think what Wolves I've been doing, and particularly some fans, Manny King, who has been an absolute legend this week, helping to deliver a good several hundred samosas to the hungry kids and stuff. It demonstrates just the awesomeness of knowing people and the love of a particular set of colours and a particular pattern of shirt. And that's the one thing which everybody should feel absolutely delighted with.
I've been really impressed by Rashford's just composure during all this, not giving in to the critics and just keep pushing. I think that he's responsible for a lot of the sentiment, is he not? I don't really keep up with everything over there, but his campaign this year really has gotten people talking. And I like follow him on Twitter, and then you hear everybody just tell him, stick to sports, it's the parents' fault, things, assholes like that. But he just keeps on pressing, and you can see just in a short time the change has happened. And he's still young, and he still has a lot that he wants to give back. So I'm just super impressed by him. I'd love to see him on Wolves as well if I can ask Santa for anything. But
But tell you what, I think it's also helping him on the pitch. I haven't seen the highlights yet from
hat trick
from the game, but I think it's like a 15-minute hat trick, isn't it?
Yeah,
or something like that. Clearly, so him, I think, and just as a support, he's stepping publicly. Clearly, is also helping them on the pitch. What sounded like a sublime 15-minute hat trick coming off the bench.
Yeah, he scored in each of three of the last 4 games, I think.
He's on fire.
So he is.
Yeah, his parliamentary petition has got over a million people signing it. It's just phenomenal.
So we'll sign him. But I need to do a prediction and because we have dinner.
He's a big knobhead because he plays for Man United.
Not him.
Lies.
Marcus is one of those. Marcus is one of those rare examples in football who just is wanting to help, not just do his thing on the pitch, but then also do something significant and for many people life-changing off it, and that is the sign of an extraordinary youngster and a well-matured man who's had to come through a lot of hardships himself, but it's certainly helping him, as I say, he's we say 3 in the last 4 games straight, him scoring. It definitely helps. Shall we head to predictions for Leicester City?
Yep. I gotta do predictions and obviously we're gonna win 3-0. It's starting. It's if 2020 has taught us anything, it's that who knows. So we're gonna take advantage of that. As we saw tonight, as I definitely saw tonight, we're really, really starting to click. So 3-0 to Wolves.
I will go with 3-1. But I would say it will. On to the fact that Leicester have got Braga in the Europa League on Thursday on bonfire night, which could considering Leicester's very good start in Europe. Fair play to them actually, with 2 wins out of 2 and 5 goals in those 2 games. Leicester starting Europe will probably let them maybe score, but obviously a Thursday night game and an added game in their schedule will make them knackered or a bit much. It's like kind of us, where usually after European games where we struggled for most part domestically. And I say if we're able to take a few more chances and be able to put a few more of those in, but see Pedro and Daniel and just the front can now begin to build that confidence and really be able to use it, then I think we could take advantage. I would say 3-1 on the basis of all that, and another win, which would put us 16 points out of 24, and a very good start from a first 8, I would say.
I'll take that.
One of those scores will be at 6.
It's on Sunday, right? It's a week from
Yeah.
Sunday. That's
Week
official.
Sunday at 2 p.m. UK time, which is like 10 a.m., 9 a.m. your time, isn't it?
I always stamp my calendar with Wolves games at the beginning of each month, and this month has really pissed me off because it's just all stamps. Like every game moved, so I'm not pleased with that. But
well, I'm going to go with you, Alex, and I think a 3-0, one extra goal. Keep the clean sheet. Be really annoyingly difficult to score against. Put all Wolves defenders in your fantasy Premier side because there's going to be a lot of clean sheets this season.
Yep.
Well, another one tonight. Tonight is four from those 7 is extremely good. 6 points from Cody, therefore cannot complain fantasy league wise. Would you mind me, Mod, just ask Alex one special prediction if he wants to make one, considering what is going on across in your land on Tuesday? Would you dare make a prediction?
I mean, I can guarantee that whatever happens, it's going to be an uproar. I don't think there will be much violence, maybe just more protesting from whoever feels like they lost, but we're not going to know on Tuesday. It's going to be closer to the weekend, I think.
Because
before.
of the
it'll be about a month's
turnout.
time after the many legal challenges to the result.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you.
But then also the record turnout.
We are going to know on Tuesday if where Texas has voted, where I live, because they are not allowing a lot of people to vote alternative ways. So, but it is within margins for the first.
I was going to say, is it actually close in Texas for a change?
It is considered a toss-up now. Wow. So we do have a heavy Hispanic population. So it just it depends on Trump's making a late push for that demographic specifically. So whether or not he succeeds, it'll be really hard for him to argue that COVID's over though, because a lot of Texas is starting to lock down. Due to ridiculously high cases. So I whatever happens, it's going to be messy. So I don't think we'll know. But I have my hopes, and I won't state them because I just don't do that anymore. But if you know me, or if you listen to me talk, you can probably figure it out. It's going to be a mess. I'm stocking up on beer to get through.
Alex voted for me. I
vote for Bod. He's shown more leadership than anybody in my country the last 4 years. That's for sure. Because when somebody starts making an ass of himself, you step in and you say, "Hey, come on." And that's all it takes.
No, I just will as a Democratic geek, it will be very interesting. But one thing we'll definitely say, it feels very encouraging to see America just vote in the way it is. Looks like it could be the biggest turnout ever. And,
Texas already has voted more people have voted than voted in the last election, and election day is on Tuesday. So we've already outdone it.
You and Illinois are the 2 states so far, I think. No, you and Hawaii are the 2 states, I think, from looking earlier.
Historically, a large turnout when there's a sitting president means a change in that party's leadership. But it's 2020, and it's the most heightened, tense election, I think, that since before electricity. I don't even know if that's possible, but it's I'm not looking forward to it.
Understandable. I think on that.
Yes, on that.
I've got Wolves.
And on that, and as Wolves are top of the league. Woohoo! We do one thing to just savor for a minute, even if we're like 8 goals off. Wolverhampton Wanderers, top of the Premier League on points.
Breathe it in.
You know, I feel so good about Wolves. I might even watch this match again tomorrow just to sit and have a cup of coffee and enjoy it.
I think yes, you should watch it again tomorrow. Again
For the second time.
Again. Absolutely for the second time, and really, you know, go over the finer points of it. I will. Okay, right. So, thank you everybody who has watched. All one of you. No. And if you ever want to join us in the future, feel free. We're going to be here after the next match and the next match and the next match. There's no getting rid of us.
We will be here to stay.
That's the internet for you.
See you after Leicester City away.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
9 days.